We're back for a full hour with teachers who I think we'll get to here in a few minutes would like your help. And teachers all around the country, we're going to give you some ideas on what you can do to join up with each other. Laura, you seemed a little verklempt.
You can have all the excellent teachers that you want, but I know that I used to make a difference in the education of my students. They come back, and I know that. But recently, I have been handed a curriculum, and I've been told exactly how to teach every single day. I have to have.
Is that right? Does everybody else feel that way? That you pretty much have a curriculum?
I have to have small group work every day, large group whole class work every day. I have to ask them a critical thinking question of the day every day, and it's group work, which means the child's grade doesn't depend on what they do independently, and
well, that's what we're headed for, the collective salvation.
They've turned me into this thing that I don't even recognize. I don't know how to teach that way, and I've adapted, but when my door is closed,
you follow that. You're on television.
I
follow that.
I follow that. I know I do. I follow that.
Yes.
I can tell you I follow that.
Yes, we all believe you,
but
too. Right?
There's more whole group than small group. Look, because that's how I have to teach.
I have to tell you, everybody in television, and they still do, tell me every day, the show can't work, Glenn. The show can't work. I know, but it does. We're either number 1, number 2, or number 3 every single night. I use chalkboards. That's so outdated, it's incredible. When I first started, remember they had this holographic thing they were going to do, where I could take like Minority Report and do this, and it was a hologram. And I said, okay, I never figured that one out. How about we just get some chalkboards, and we use chalkboards. Shouldn't work. The point is, it won't work. If somebody else comes in and replaces me, it won't work. They'll probably use them, but it won't work. Because that's who I am. We are devaluing the individual. And you have to teach the way you are. And we have to be able to say, Laura, your students are dumb as a box of rocks when they finish the year. You're fired. We have to be able to find people that can teach in different ways. Josh, you brought up a great point a minute ago.
I think one of the issues is we never ask the question, why do we educate in the first place? You know, are we just educating so that we can be good employees? Or lots of kids that I see in school.
How do you answer that question?
Well, I think we have to get to where do we find meaning in life. And I think that if you hold to a naturalistic philosophy of things, we're just here. We're just, like you said the other night, we're a blob here, but that doesn't provide meaning. You know, you have to find some higher meaning without, evangelizing on TV.
But how do you, I know, because that wouldn't work.
No.
How do you, I don't know what your philosophy on life is. I don't want you teaching my children what.
Well, and somebody talked about critical thinking. I start the year I talk about logic and go through some of the laws of logic and critical thinking and question things in a logical manner so that you can arrive at an informed decision. And I think that there's a real lack of critical thinking and even questioning, why am I sitting in class? Is it just so I can go to a good school? Or maybe I'm just here because I have to be here, but I can't wait till I'm 17 so I can get my parents to sign me out, you know?
Can I tell you, how many people just feel like it's babysitting, like it's a pit stop for the day they have to do? You have to go to the school and sit there. One of my daughters said to me, I said, what did you learn in school today? And she said, well, I don't remember. Let's see. I got on the bus and I talked to so-and-so and went on and on and on and got the whole thing. And I said, okay, next part. And then she got into the school and she said, and then the teacher talked. And then we had lunch and we blah, 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 blah. And I said, wait, go back. What did the teacher talk? She said, quote, I don't know. That's her time. Yeah, I corrected that. But how many people feel like most or a lot of your students come in because they just have to be there, and so it's just a pit stop, and they don't know why they're there? Really? No, hardly anybody? Small number of people. Okay, Andrew.
Yeah, my point earlier in the intermission was that what frustrates me as a teacher most is politicians and some media members bashing the teaching profession. It makes it harder for us to do our job.
Do you feel
harder
I do
for
that?
us to have respect? I think you can do it at times. I think you're very anti-union.
No.
Yes. I've heard that. I have heard that, Mr. Beck.
Andy Stern, is this part of your power of persuasion or persuasion of power? So you have a problem with the bashing of teachers?
Yes, absolutely. I'm a New Jerseyan, so as you're probably aware of Governor Christie, he's not very fond of teachers in general.
See, I think, how many, who are from, hang on, you disagree? Go ahead, Julie.
I'm a teacher in New Jersey, too, and I was embarrassed when I went to my union's meeting and about how he wanted teachers to take a pay freeze for a year, and I said, why not? If it's going to save jobs of my colleagues, yes. And our union stood up and said, nope, he's a bully. He should tax people who make over $400,000. I mean, it was embarrassing to me that fellow educators were talking about him in such an unfair way and distorting things. So I don't think when the union in Wisconsin was acting that way in their own state capitol building, they did themselves any favors for public relations. So I don't worry so much about...
I worry, honestly, I worry about you, Julie, on what you're saying here. I worry about teachers because the unions, and it is a political machine. Make no mistake. AFL-CIO is a political machine. And, Trumka says he meets with somebody at the White House every single day. He's the most frequented guest at the White House. Before that, it was Andy Stern when we got health care. This is a political machine that's going on. And if the teachers don't stand up and say, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, I may agree with the politics in the White House or disagree with the politics of the White House, but you separate them here because this is different. I think if teachers don't start standing up, that's why I'm so pleased that you guys are here. And I'm not saying you're against the unions, but I'm glad you're here because parents and citizens need to see that there are teachers out there that are saying, enough. This is crazy what's going on. Hang on just a sec. Back in a minute.